So it's been a bit of time since the Foghorn Leghorn, the segregationist Looney Tunes character, John Kennedy, Senator Kennedy, grilled um, her name is Maya Berry, who's the head of the Arab American Institute, during a hearing about hate crimes against the Arab and Muslim community. Here was just a little snippet. I'm not going to subject you to all of it, but maybe you have seen some of this.
You support UNRWA and Hamas, don't you?
I think it's exceptionally disappointing that you're looking at an Arab American witness before you and saying you support Hamas.
You know what's disappointing to me?
I do not
You
support
can't
Hamas.
bring yourself
I do
to
not
say
support Hamas.
You don't
or
support UNRWA. You don't support Hamas. You don't
I was very clear in my support for UNRWA.
Hezbollah, and you don't support Iran. You should hide your head in a bag.
You should hide your head in a bag is how he ended that, which is funny because it just, sounds real ISIS of him. That just sounds, I mean, look, there's a reason we say Al-Qaeda, there's a reason that people draw that connection between the extremist right in this country and the extremist right in every country, which has no respect for any religious minority, which has no respect for women, and which will openly be Islamophobic and hateful in the middle of a Senate hearing on hate crimes specifically. The reason I'm bringing that up is because it's not just that, but it has been this entire week, as we'll talk about, this assault on Gaza, this genocide expands to Lebanon, and Israel remains unchecked. The other thing that remains unchecked, although we are all supposed to search our bodies for any kind of anti-Semitism that might be growing, that like it's under the bed, or, maybe our cat said something weird, or like, maybe we should police one another. Like, we are so on our P's and Q's about anti-Semitism, obviously to the point where we criminalize Palestine protesters. But when it comes to anti-Arab and anti-Muslim racism and Islamophobia and bigotry, we have no leadership actually holding people accountable. We have no one remembering the names of the people who were murdered, the Wael al-Fayumi, the 6-year-old who was murdered outside of Chicago by a neighbor because he's Palestinian. Like, there is absolutely no leadership when it comes to the rampant Islamophobia. And this week, in continuation of the theme, you have political cartoons where Rashida Tlaib is being blown up by a pager, or a pager is going off, and she's like, oh, that's funny. Because, of course, let's go after the Palestinian congresswoman. And, of course, Jake Tapper had to get in on that, and Dana Bash, too, and CNN, basically, when they're accusing Rashida Tlaib of suggesting that the only reason that Palestine demonstrators are being targeted is because the attorney general is Jewish, which she never said, literally never said it. Now they're spewing it on national television. So what I'm trying to tell you is this. What I'm bitching about is in the year 2024, we have so clearly and so painfully and so embarrassingly never actually learned the lessons of the bogus war on terror. Yeah, everyone's like, oh yeah, we shouldn't send money abroad, and that was stupid, and I guess we shouldn't occupy another country unless, of course, it's Gaza, and, Biden wants us to do it, but the real lesson was the rampant Islamophobia, the rampant clampdown on our civil liberties that truly never went away, right? But was absolutely greenlit if you were, again, Arab or Muslim. We still in this country, every single racism, bigotry, all of that, it is generally frowned upon, right? They're generally frowned upon. If you say something, say it behind closed doors, unless you're in a MAGA rally. But when it comes to Arab and Muslims, you can be an anchor on national television. You can be a sitting senator in a hearing on hate crimes. You can be the most prominent person out there. You could be an actor and still keep your effing job. As we've seen, kill them all. Everyone needs to die. They're animals. No, anyway, so my next job is I play this like single mom. Like, that is perfectly computable and compatible. somehow in our warped ass racist country. So we're going to talk about the uncommitted movement. We talked about him last week. We're going to talk about him at the end of the show. But there has been no inkling that the Democratic Party specifically really does care about the amount of hate being directed towards Arab and Muslim Americans. There's just no sign. And it is on, people like Maya and people who are, the head of CARE, or the Council on Arab and Islamic Relations. It's these leaders who have been carrying the torch, hope against hope, and still work to defend Americans from hate crimes, from violence, who documented. These are the only people we have. The only people we have are the Rashida Tlaibs and the Ilhan Omars, who, despite every death threat, continue to fight. So I'm just disappointed, man. I'm disappointed in all of us, and I am definitely disappointed in the Harris campaign. But it's not on her. It's really on it's on a culture. It's on a culture that normalizes this, and it's truly disgusting at this point. And we have a lot of work to do. So that's what I'm bitching about. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.